How's it going, everyone? Gotta take you guys through today's Helldivers 2 news notes and updates, and some pretty notable updates have come our way as well. The daily challenges are back, and this is something that has been waited on for a while. Daily orders will be returning. By the time you guys are watching this video, it should already be up, or could be up. So we'll talk about that. On top of that, we have a bit of an update on the sales numbers of the game that are still looking pretty solid and really paints a positive picture for the game. Now, this isn't going to be sustainable forever, but it is definitely bucking the trend of a lot of games that do release. So we'll talk that at the end of this video, and I'll go over my input on why I think it has been so successful. So first of all, over on the Helldivers 2 Discord page, it was noted following that wholesome announcement, here's another special news bulletin starting at 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Daily orders will be back online. Now, this is relative to when the post was made. We repeat, daily orders are back starting tomorrow. I saw this being something a lot of you guys mentioned. The daily orders and the armor issues has really been the major things that have been the major issues that a lot of people have been facing. Well, daily orders, they did an update, and apparently that broke it on the back end in terms of executing these daily orders, so that has been remedied. The armor issue is still being worked on, and hopefully that'll be remedied as soon as possible. The personal orders are dropping, and you can do those to get various rewards. War medals for the war bonds as well, a very effective way in getting that. Now, this is separate from the major order that is available. The major order is obviously applicable to everybody in the community. The personal order is for you to do stuff like, you know, killing 100 enemies using a specific weapon, things to incentivize you to play the game in a certain way. So thankfully that issue has been remedied, and really the smaller minute issues are the ones that they should be focusing on. Daily orders, honestly, that is a major issue. Me simplifying it to being a minor issue really isn't what it is, because, you know, daily orders is a pretty big deal. Especially for a live service game like this, you want daily challenges because that's what incentivizes people to get on every day. And I know that they already got your money for $40. You already bought Helldivers 2, but the thing is, with a game like this, longevity is the name of the game. You want to monetize this game further beyond, and the effective way to monetize a live service game is by facilitating and creating an attachment between the game and the player base. And once they become attached, they're more likely to spend money on the game, hence you being able to monetize the game for a longer period of time. That is me looking at it from a business sense. If you want to play Helldivers 2 and you don't want to spend any money outside of the initial $40, you absolutely can do that. But from a business standpoint, you do want to create that attachment so people are consistently playing a specific game, and a daily challenge, a personal order, that does facilitate that. I know some of you guys might look at me talking like that as a negative on the game. No, that's how a live service game should be operating, and Helldivers 2 is a live service game done right, and now personal orders are back, so that's great to see, and hopefully that armor issue will be remedied here shortly, because that's been persistent for like weeks and weeks now, so that needs to be fixed up ASAP. But go ahead and jump on those daily orders. They should be live by the time you guys are watching this video. Moving on from that, Matt Piscatella, who is an analyst, noted this on Twitter. Helldivers 2 US sales went up yet again during its third week in market, an honest-to-goodness inverse decay curve so far. Feel like Steve Irwin citing a rare bird or something rare and amazing in an Australian accent even. If you guys don't understand what that means, it means that Helldivers 2 released a few weeks ago, and it dropped on a Thursday. Generally speaking, for the majority of games, 99% of games, you are going to peak in sales numbers for the first 24 to 72 hours of release. There are certain rare cases where a game's word of mouth really pops off, and word of mouth promotes the game as more people are buying the game. You buy the game, you tell your friend to buy the game, your friend buys the game, he enjoys the game, he tells his friends to buy the game, and so on and so forth, and an infection, so to speak, happens, and a lot of people are buying the game. In the case of Helldivers 2, it has bucked the general trend of peaking day 1 or week 1, and instead, sales went up week 2, sales went up week 3. That is incredibly impressive and something that you very, very rarely see in gaming in general. Now, this is not sustainable. You cannot expect sales numbers to go up every week And in fact, I feel like we're getting to that point where the sales numbers are going to lessen a little bit, but it's still going to pull very, very healthy numbers. And now you already have a core player base. The game could not sell one more copy. It will. It for sure will, because at some point the game is going to go discounted 50% off, whatever the case may be down the line, and more people will naturally buy the game. More people will open up times, beat their current games, and be like, all right, time to jump into Helldivers 2 as the servers are better, so on and so forth. It's going to sell more copies, but it's already gotten an established core user base that you have people cycling into the game every day and playing the game. And it doesn't have to be that they have to jump in every day, but since you already have an established core user base, the primary objective for Arrowhead right now should be to keep that player base engaged. You already have a stronger player base than anybody could have imagined. Now, the real game is to keep that player base engaged. Having daily orders is just a small, very minuscule part of that equation. It's really about content updates, enemy variety, weapon additions, and so on and so forth to keep that player base engaged for a long period of time. This is what so many live service games get wrong in terms of, and it's not like they're trying to get it wrong. It's very difficult to do this, to keep a player base engaged for 6 months, a year. Look at Halo Infinite. That game should be a case study of a game just falling off like crazy even after an exponentially high peak, because that game's rollout, remember, the multiplayer portion of that game kind of came out of nowhere with an early release, and then it peaked at a very, very high player count, but ultimately it fell off pretty quickly because the content rollouts just weren't there. There was a finite level of content, and it couldn't keep the player engaged. Helldivers, right now, the game is doing incredibly well, and I feel like what we already got out of the base game, that already gives you a lot of content worth your money, and you're going to be engaged for a long period of time. But at some point, the player base will do a lot of that content, or the content will get redundant, whatever. Then it's up to Arrowhead to cycle in new content, add in new variety, add in new weapon types, and I do believe they're going to do that very effectively. But so far, we're a month in, and as far as analytics go, 3 weeks of results, going up week over week is an incredibly impressive statistic that so many games don't get. And what is true about Helldivers 2 is, unlike a lot of the other live service games that come to the market these days, Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, for example, especially Suicide Squad, Helldivers 2's essence was never changed. A lot of publishers these days will change the essence of a development studio or the entirety of a game to adopt that live service model. Helldivers 2 never changed its essence, or Arrowhead, I should say, never changed the essence of what made Arrowhead great, what made Helldivers 1 great. They didn't go off the deep end with the monetization or anything like that. It was a budget game. Spending money is optional, and I think ultimately they've been rewarded based on that because they are offering a great game right out the gate. And obviously, you know, you're gonna have porter games. Suicide Squad is what it is. That game's also $70, so it's not exactly a fair comparison, but just generally speaking, Arrowhead has handled this game incredibly well, outside of the fact that they didn't foresaw the game being exponentially bigger than anything anyone had expected out of the game, and that is what it is. But at this point, the game is quite good, and we'll see what the rollout is for the next, couple of weeks, the next 6 weeks, next 6 months, and that's where we're really gonna get an idea of where the game is gonna settle at. But right now, it's doing very well. As I'm recording the video, Steam concurrent player count is 240,000, still at 82% positive, which is a pretty solid reception, all things considered, but sales numbers wise, doing incredibly well. But that is going to do it for me. Again, personal orders are back. Major addition there, or major fix there. Hopefully the armor fixes will be coming here shortly. Matt Piscatella again noting that week over week, and this is its 3rd week on the market, it has gone up in sale from each week prior. So that is an incredibly impressive statistic. And if you do want to check out the game on PC, remember Steam, Green Man Gaming, use the code MAR17, that's MAR17. Gave you guys the wrong promo code in the last video, but you can get the game 17% off, either the base game or the Super Citizen Edition. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.